two, one.
Good afternoon, good evening, or good morning, everyone, everywhere, depending on where and when you are joining Africa Online. Well, let me just say, the holiday, at least Christmas, is over. We've planned for 11 months. We've looked forward to Christmas for 11 months. We've planned out our menus. We've shopped. Some of us started shopping early. Some of us were those Christmas Eve shoppers. If you were one of those Christmas Eve shoppers and you had to do all the cooking for your family, you might be a bit stressed out by now, especially if you still have to cook for New Year's Eve. I'm sure you are worn out. Welcome to Africa Online TV. I am your co-host, Ambassador Lisa Parks, and today we're going to talk about de-stressing from the holidays, how not to be stressed when the holidays come around, and what we can do to have a good time while we're hosting for the holidays and not be stressed out. The important thing is not to be stressed out during the holidays. Unfortunately, my co-host is unavailable today, so we won't get an editorial, but we're just going to have a conversation. We would like to welcome.
Actually, he's going to be coming late, so.
We'd like to welcome Dr. Gloria Crosland, part of our Africa Online TV host and conversationalist, panelist, and we're going to just talk about the holidays right now. Okay, so welcome, Dr. Crosland. It's very good to see you. Happy Kwanzaa to you. Merry Christmas. And since I won't see you before New Year's, Happy New Year's to you as well. So we're going to talk about our holidays. What do we do to prepare, how to prepare, and how to do it without all the stress that's usually involved. So many people right now are just still comatose on their sofas, anxiously awaiting those credit card bills that they know are coming in January, and they're about ready to pull their hair out. Me, on the other hand, I'm not in that case. And you don't look like you're in that situation either, because it can be done without all the stress. So let's just talk about how our holiday was. So how was your holiday?
Mine was great. And what I'm surprised about, since we're talking about like the stress factor, what I noticed is I experienced zero lag, meaning that like last year I was like, oh no, Christmas is over. So yeah, so for me that was kind of like, a letdown, it's like it's a buildup and
Yes.
then there's no more. It's like even though all the decorations and everything and the lights are still on and gifts are still under the tree and people are still eating leftovers, the whole everything. Even like today I saw like this huge family all hugging because they had been at this one particular house for like a week. And I know I was walking by, when I was walking my dog, and I'm like, wow, that's a lot of cars, and I thought, maybe they would just be there for an hour or a day. But they were there for a long time. And today they were out there all hugging and leaving. It was a whole caravan of them. And my dog was just looking at them like, wow, And they had their dogs and everything. It was like a really big to do.
Oh, okay.
So for me, it was like, I was explaining to people, when they were like, Jesus, the reason for the season, like when people are saying, oh, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, all these other salutes. And I was like, well, every day is Christmas.
Yes.
So I had to, because I guess I kept saying it and sharing it. So for me, it wasn't like that letdown, like, because last year I was like, oh, Santa's gone back to the North Pole. I was like, it's done, it's over. So by me saying every day is Christmas, now I don't have that letdown.
Oh, wonderful. That's a good way to think about it.
Thank you.
I had an opportunity to preach the Sunday before Christmas, and I talked about why the 25th. You know, some people don't want to celebrate Christmas because they say it's a pagan holiday. Some don't want to celebrate because, quote unquote, is not when Jesus was born. They have all these reasons for why they don't want to celebrate. But I say, you were born. You want somebody to celebrate you. Our Savior was born, and whether it was the 25th of December or the 25th of July, he's still worthy to be celebrated, and he's worthy to be celebrated every day. So every day can be Christmas. So I had an opportunity to celebrate with my sons this year. I didn't go out like I used to. I've gotten older and tireder, and I made sure that all my children and my grandkids were taken care of in Africa. I made sure they had money to buy the kids something to, at least a little something from Jaja, and at least have a nice meal. So that was where my heart was this year, to make sure that others, for some reason, like I said, when my 65th birthday came in, I wanted to serve. And this Christmas, I wanted to serve. So I did without all the stress. My son cooked. He prepared a lovely brunch for noon, thinking that we would be out of the house at least by 5. And if we wanted to go someplace else, it was still early enough in the day to do that. However, we didn't leave his house till 9. And he was like, this is what I didn't want to do. I didn't want to be cleaning up, packing up. That's why I had a brunch at noon. But we enjoyed ourselves. We just sit around, relaxed, watched movies, and had a good time. So, some of the ways that we can not be so stressed out through the holidays is to plan properly. When you don't plan properly, you end up being rushed at the last minute. I know for most men, they like that Christmas Eve shopping. I don't know. I've never been a Christmas Eve shopper, and I guess it's something about Christmas Eve shopping that's fun for them. But I start immediately after Christmas. Immediately after Christmas, when everything is 50%, 75% off, I've already got my color scheme for the next year planned. So when things are on sale, that's when I'm buying. I already know what I may give to my kids. So I'm already buying these things on sale. So, and then, we have this thing called Christmas in July. So that's when you really should start buying and shopping. So if we plan properly to do something, a little something every month. Maybe you want to do it on the 25th. Maybe the 25th of every month will be the day that you'll buy one gift or two gifts. And prepare, if you plan that way, when December comes around, you're more relaxed and able to enjoy. I know so many people who do not enjoy the holidays because they do everything at the last minute. All the shopping, all the cooking, all the prep. You know, November, you can start cutting them onions and those peppers and freezing those things. Or you know what we can do now, what we didn't have when I was a kid, we didn't have those things already cut up in the market. Now you can go to the produce store and you can buy the onions already cut up, the peppers are already cut up, and you can buy these things that are already pre-done for you. And that saves some of your time. A lot of time, the hardest part of your cooking is the prep time. So, did you cook this year, Dr. Crosman?
Uh, no, I don't typically cook, I quote unquote cook every day.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, but um Miss Lola Tamar joined us. I
Mhm.
invited her,
Oh,
and
wonderful.
she's cooking right now. So her camera is not on, but
Okay.
I'm just wondering. Oh, and also my cousin extraordinaire, ER trauma nurse manager. She has her camera on. She's a TV host like myself, and yeah, so they're both on, and I just wanted to catch them up to date that we're just basically talking about how our Christmas was and
Yeah.
how to de-stress and all of that. And so for me, like I said, I cook every day. So I heard people from Thanksgiving saying that they weren't cooking. When I was in Mississippi, for the national pageant, Thanksgiving was like the next couple of days.
Oh.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So when I was there, obviously talking with people about Thanksgiving, and they were saying, like our driver, he was saying, oh, him and his wife, they are taking all of their family. I didn't ask him how many, but it sounded like a lot
Mhm.
to a buffet to Golden Corral. And I was like, at first, like, that's not fair. I think they should cook.
Mhm.
But I'm not the boss of them, and he was just letting me know, you know, that just because he's our driver, he doesn't need our permission about what he should do. And so he was explaining himself anyway about their decision to take their family to Golden Corral. And so that's what I did for Christmas.
Oh, okay. Wow. I heard Steve Harvey, I believe it was Steve Harvey, he was talking about this lady who her family was complaining last year for Christmas. They didn't like the taste of this, and she didn't have this, and they really wanted that. So this year she sent out a wish list and asked everybody to put on the list what they wanted. She catered everything. Everything that they wanted, all the cakes, pies, desserts, the meats, all the vegetables, all the sides. She catered everything that they wanted. And then she sent them a message that dinner was going to be $40 per person. And they were upset because now she's charging. Well, you didn't like what she was preparing. You didn't like the taste of it. She didn't have this. She got you everything you wanted. And now she's charging $40 per person to come to the house for Christmas. I thought that was hilarious. Um, the family, of course, was upset because they still wanted this for free, but they don't realize, especially if you don't participate. Some places you go, you can bring a plate, or no, they ask you to bring a dish. Um, I know that my sister, one of my sisters from work, her family has a very huge Christmas breakfast. Everybody comes to the house for breakfast, but everybody brings something, and they start planning, like 2, 3 weeks in advance, sometime a month. Who's bringing what? This is what the menu is. Who's going to bring what? So that everybody has it at the house the day or two before, so that the main hostess can begin to prepare everything. So when you have to do all the cooking, all the prep, all the cleaning and everything by yourself, it causes a lot of stress and a lot of, excess worry, unnecessary, undue pressure. So this mother figured out a way to unstress herself. All she had to do was prepare, clean, and set out the dishes, and the meal was catered. And now, if everybody didn't want to come, I guess she cut her numbers down. But I want to take this time right now to welcome Foxy Brown Jackson. I believe you said that was your cousin.
Yes.
Yes,
And I believe I saw she was driving early. Welcome to Africa Online TV.
thank you.
And
Can you hear?
we're talking about how to de-stress from the holidays, how to not be stressed from the holidays. So let's first ask, how was your holiday?
My holiday was stress free.
Oh, okay, okay. Wonderful. Does
We
that
just
mean you didn't cook, you didn't go anywhere, you didn't have people over?
that exactly,
Okay.
exactly. My godmother lives in Texas, and we ended up bringing her here to Florida for Thanksgiving time, like around Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
And her family that lives there in Texas with her was upset because she was tired and didn't want to cook. So then Christmas came around and she was still tired. And I agree. I think that's just too much stress to put on her. She's had like
Mm-hmm.
2 strokes and a heart attack
Oh,
and
definitely.
doesn't even walk good. And so you want her to fix a big meal like she's in her 40s? Like that's not gonna happen. So I felt when she was here, we did what we were supposed to do for an elder who has cooked for us for so many years.
Yes.
We got everything for her. She did nothing. And so that made her Thanksgiving stress free because she went back home and she told him, I'm not good doing anything. Because
Mm-hmm.
when I was in Florida, I didn't have to do anything. So, of course,
Do
they're
y'all
not
sit
happy with us, but That's just how it should be.
Y'all set the bar high. That's right. You know, after you get a certain age and your children are now grown, you got grandchildren and great grandchildren, it should be their turn to do
Right.
the cooking so that our elders can come and just be, blessed and pampered and catered to.
Yep.
As a child growing
Absolutely.
up, as a child growing up, all of our Thanksgivings were at my grandmother's house, but everybody participated. But Christmas, we all came to my grandmother's house. We all brought our gifts. Me and my cousins, it was five girls. We're all the oldest of the grandkids. We all prepared all the breakfast, but dinner was relegated to each one of my mother and her sisters. Each year, a different sister had the responsibility for the dinner. This way, our grandparents were not trying to cook Thanksgiving and dinner, and that relieves a lot of stress. We have to realize that what our elders have done in the past, while they're maybe young in spirit, may still have a desire to do that. That's a lot of wear and tear on their body, and it should be unnecessary. And we're living in an age now and a time where things have just changed. Things have changed, and we need to go with the flow. Really need to go with the flow. So your godmother sounds like the lady that Steve Harvey was talking about. The family wasn't happy with what happened the year before, so she catered everything. Your godmother said, "I'm not doing anything. I'm not catering it. I'm not ordering it. I'm going to be stress free." But this is where our elders are, especially elders who now have the responsibility for taking care of children. So many of our elders who are our grandparents should just be grandparents and just loving on the grandkids when they come over and sending them back home to their parents. They're now raising their grandchildren because the parents are incapable or unable to at this time. So now they have the responsibility of trying to raise children, and it's just not fair. So Lola, are you there?
I think Dr. Kristen said she was cooking.
Oh, oh, that's right. Okay, I couldn't remember who was cooking. Okay, so she's cooking. Is she preparing, Dr. Crossan, do you know if she's preparing for New Year's Eve or is she preparing Kwanzaa dinner?
Queen Lola?
Yes, ma'am. I'm here.
Oh,
I'm here. I had to fix my microphone. No
welcome.
Kwanzaa or Christmas dinner. This is just regular Sunday dinner.
Oh, you're just cooking regular Sunday dinner. Okay,
Yes.
okay.
So I am making celery soup.
Celery soup?
Mm-hmm.
That's
Okay,
healthy.
very
Yes.
healthy.
Celery is
So
healthy, especially
thank
for
you.
diabetes. Yeah.
It was actually Dr. Crossland. She was telling me about how she's a nutritionist, and both my mom and my dad, they're really big into the whole fruits and vegetables thing. So I was like, you know what? Since I spent Christmas with my dad and he was telling me more about like how to eat healthier and certain fruits and vegetables that are good for different ailments and whatnot.
Yes.
So I was like, you know what? Let me do some celery soup. And I made it much earlier in the year. It was a Pinterest recipe, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
And the way that I made it, it came out so soft and fluffy. So I was like, you know what? Let me try it again. Why not?
Okay.
Yeah. So that's what I'm working on right now.
Okay, so now I've not had celery soup. I
Hmm.
make a cabbage soup.
A cabbage soup.
Yeah,
Yeah, with
cabbage is very
cabbage
healthy.
and celery.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Really?
Yes.
Yes.
It can be
So,
used as a cleanser, it's a
mhm.
detoxer, and it's just
Weight loss also.
yes, it's just one of my favorite things to make in fall. I always like sitting outside on the step with a little shawl around me, with my big cup of
Look at
celery,
you.
cabbage soup. It's a little chilly outside. And sometimes I go outside and knit with my soup, but cabbage and celery is another amazing.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, so do you like just put the cabbage into a pot and let it boil, or do you blend it up? Like, how do you do it?
Oh no, no, I cut it up, shred
Mhm.
it, cut it up. Depends on how you like the cabbage. I don't like really big pieces of cabbage.
Yeah.
I like to be able to pick it up on a spoon, but and I don't like to cook the life out of my vegetables.
Me too.
So I boil it with some onion soup, chop up the celery, and because celery kind of cooks down really good. But when I do all my water and my seasonings before I put my vegetables in, this way you're not cooking all the life out of your vegetables, and they're not real mushy because I don't like my cabbage mushy. But
Well, let me share a quick one. I like
Mhm.
turkey necks, so I season the turkey neck, put it in a pot. This is my own cabbage soup. Okay,
Oh, you
put
put
water.
meat in your cabbage soup?
Yes, I
Oh,
do.
okay.
Smoked turkey, and I put the water above the turkey. Once it boils, of course, I put onions in there. Once it boils, then I don't like big leaves. I chop my cabbage. I actually slice them like onions, So, and I put it there. I don't like to cook my cabbage long.
Right,
I don't cook celery. I dice the celery and I add it in the pot after I turn off the heat, and it's
right.
enough heat for it to be tender. So, and I don't put carrots in mine. You can put carrot in yours because
I
carrot
don't put
has
carrots in
high
mine.
sugar. Yeah, but I mean, you can drink that stuff. Of course, I put pepper. And you can drink, especially when the weather is cold, and it's very, very good. Very
Yeah,
good,
you.
very good. Very healthy.
Well, let me ask you ladies a quick question then, because I'm blending while I'm talking to you and reading the Pinterest recipe from my phone. But the recipe is asking for like a bouillon or like a chicken broth or a vegetable broth. But I don't think I have any broth. Do I actually need those things, or can
No,
I
you
just put?
don't. You
No, you
don't.
don't. Like I
You
said, I
can put
use
the
onion
chicken
soup.
bouillon in there, but you don't need the broth because
No.
you're gonna get broth from the soup.
Yes. Okay, so I've already boiled the potatoes so they're soft. I've chopped up the celery and it said to saute the onions and garlic, but in order like I can't remember how I got it to be so smooth and creamy. I honestly feel like I just put water in it, honestly. So how can I get that soft flavor?
Wait, you want it to be creamy?
Yes.
Okay, is your potato mashed or is diced or wedges? What is the situation of your?
It's diced and then I boiled it, so it's really, really soft right now.
Okay.
Okay, because you can actually mash some of the potatoes and it will give you that creamy look without using cream.
Ah, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's probably more healthy that way as well.
Yes, yes, you can mash
Interesting.
it and then put with the broth, it's going to become like a cream, you
Yes.
know. And yes, you don't need to use cream inside.
Okay then.
And Queen Lola,
Yes, ma'am.
everyone, Queen Lola, she's a queen. She wears a crown, and I just want to let you know that Her Excellency Ambassador, Reverend Dr. Pam, is a pharmacist, and she knows all about compounds and how to make medicine. So she,
And I also know how to cook. I'm dangerous in the kitchen.
yes, she
So you
does.
know, pharmacy compounding is like cooking, but you use medications. You use active pharmaceutical ingredients instead of
Mm-hmm.
celery and potatoes. So yes, I'm very dangerous in the kitchen
She
as a
is.
chef.
I remember one year early in my coming onto the show, she did a visual cooking. I don't remember what I think you had cooked for Thanksgiving, and my gosh,
Oh, it was turkey. Yeah, I was showing people how to make jerk turkey, and
yes, yeah.
yes, I wish I had time. So many people for years
Hey,
have
did you
wanted me
just
to.
say you made jerk turkey?
Oh
Oh
yes, it's the only way to
yes,
eat turkey.
all the way down to the bones.
Hold
Down.
on,
But
because now my Jamaican senses are tingling.
well, Dr. Crossley, I'll send you the video to send to Queen Lola.
Okay.
Yes. My
Okay,
aunt
Whenever
thank
I
you.
make it, people eat it down to the bones.
my
Oh
aunt makes a
wow.
jerk turkey, and I carry hot sauce in my bag, so I got hot sauce everywhere.
Come
But
on, Beyonce.
you don't need any hot sauce with her jerk turkey. Like she said, it's down to the
Yeah.
bone. My aunt marinades and prepares. Like she'll start like November. If she gets fresh turkey, she'll prepare all the turkeys, season them, bag them up, and then freeze them. And she'll have one for Christmas, one for New Year. So by now, all those seasonings are really soaked in. She gets up under the skin, inside. It is
Yeah,
amazing.
I use bamboo skewers to poke the turkey all around. I don't use the syringe because that limits the
Oh,
strength
okay.
of the seasoning. So I
Mm-hmm.
poke it all around with bamboo skewers, and it gets into it, even down. I'm telling you to the bones. But just in the past, recently, the last 2 years, my Christmas have been stress-free. In the past, I would shop from Thanksgiving. I'll be so busy. Thanksgiving, I'll cook for all my clients. Always host Thanksgiving and Christmas, but not anymore. I will start shopping. I come from a big family. I'll buy gifts, family members, their children, and wrap them. You know, I mean, if I buy gifts now, I don't even wrap. I put them in a gift bag, you know, but it was just, just having all this. It was, I actually enjoyed it. I wasn't stressed though. I
Right.
was not stressed because I actually enjoyed doing that. But this Christmas, I spent a quiet day at home. There
Mm.
were events, family members went out. It was just me and Jesus. I did not want to do anything. Of course, I ate, but I didn't want to go out. I didn't want
You
to
would go
do
out and
anything.
host and be smiling in people's faces. You don't have to get dressed.
No, no.
Stay in your
I just wanted,
PJs.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I especially just wanted to spend time to thank him for saving my life and also for taking me to Lagos and bringing me back safely and just some quiet time on the anniversary of his birth. And for those who complain about, nobody can vouch for exact dates when Jesus
No,
was
you
born.
cannot.
But the December 25th is the anniversary of his birth. That's the day Christians celebrate the anniversary of his birth. So, like you said, so people should not, try to find negative things to say about it. But during this holiday season, from Thanksgiving to New Year, there are people that even have marital problems. There are children that are angry with their parents if they don't get what they wanted for Christmas. I mean, just it becomes more about
Jesus.
material things,
Yes.
about gifts, more than celebrating
Mhm.
the anniversary of the birth of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. So people forget the meaning or the purpose for it, and they want to call it. I say Merry Christmas. I have no problems you
I say
putting
Merry
Christ in
Christmas.
Christmas. Yes, it's not Xmas. He was not an X-Man, so it's Christmas. You
Well,
know,
like I said, I just preached this a couple weeks ago, and X, why? Because I used to say the same thing. Don't be X in Christ out of Christmas, but the X in the Greek is actually a chi, which is a Greek letter, so it's still pronounced Christmas instead of Xmas. So I just broke all that down. It was like, wow, because I was talking about why the 25th. I think it was Emperor Julius, I think it was Julius Caesar, who decided that Christmas would be celebrated on the 25th. But I was telling them, my former pastor used to say, don't stop dancing. You don't have to stop dancing, just change your partner. So even if they took what was pagan, because the people were used to celebrating on that day, so to try and give people another reason to celebrate, they just changed the meaning of the celebration. I'm not going to go into it because we're talking about de-stressing from
well,
the
but
holiday.
look at it, Ambassador. You're right. That's a way of distressing when they understand it. Because,
Yes,
like Halloween, I don't celebrate Halloween,
I don't
but
celebrate. I've
in my
never
church
celebrated.
celebrates Hallelujah Night on Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
So the kids still get candy, but they're not talking about the all
Right, they're not coming in ghosts
pagan,
and witches
no,
and
no, no, all that demonic stuff.
yes.
We're celebrating Hallelujah Night, and
My
we
children
pass
have
out
never
a
even,
pamphlet as to exactly what that is, so people know. So if children are going out for candy, they still get the candy, but then they're celebrating Hallelujah Night.
yeah, change your partner. So uh, uh like Reverend Pam was saying, she used to buy gifts for everybody, but I'm sure you didn't start in December. You probably started all year like I did.
No, no, I
And
did not start all year. That's the truth.
oh my goodness.
I'll usually start in November, like right after Thanksgiving. But that's when I'll get in the mood. But like you say, it's better to start shopping after
Yes.
Christmas. And I used to get these live trees, 7-foot live trees with flocks, and it would be so beautiful with the lights and everything. And I'll keep it to January ending. And then
Mm-hmm.
taking it out now will be a challenge. But in Cameroon, we're growing up, we said Christmas celebration was 1 week from Christmas Day or Christmas Eve to New Year's Day. In
Oh, okay.
Nigeria, they have something called Dirty December. It goes on every day till January. So, and the streets are all lit up. When we're young, these little boys, these dancers, they used to go door to door and dance and perform, and people would give them money. And that was not very stressful, but it's stressful on parents who you had to buy Christmas clothes and Christmas shoes for your children. So
Okay.
maybe the parents were stressed, and then most people ate rice and stew. So most Cameroonians, even till now, even in my family, on that day, they make sure no matter what they prepare, they will usually have a feast, but there must be rice and stew there.
Must be rice
But,
and
yeah,
but
yeah.
isn't rice and stew the normal staple for most Africans?
Well, now is, back then it was not. In
Oh,
in in the past, rice was a delicacy. Right now, even cheaper than the fufu. Some of the fufu, somebody was telling me that rice is cheaper than fufu. It just depends on the country.
Okay.
But I want to suggest for those who ways of distress, avoiding stresses. If you're going to be cooking, because prepping takes a lot of time. I don't like to prep. It takes, because I like to use fresh. If it's ginger, I peel the ginger myself. If it's garlic, I do it myself. I like to use fresh ingredients. So it takes time, but you can prep ahead of time and put it in the freezer.
Right.
So that on that day you just mix things together.
Exactly.
And then there are some dishes that you can make on Christmas Eve. Things that, because a lot of African dishes taste better the next day anyway. So some of the soups on, like your beans, you can make those the day before. But things like rice, you should boil it on that day. Fried plantains, do it on that day. Puff or these are fried.
What you said, pop? What's that?
Puff. It's like donuts, but it's not as sweet as donuts.
Okay, kind of like we call them mandozis in Uganda.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's a form of dumpling, but it's not as thick as dumplings. It's more like donut, but without the milk or butter. It's just water, yeast, and sugar and little salt. Those that are not good when it's overnight. But so I'm saying that you can prep everything ahead of time. But also, I think, because there are people that have had marital problems, even divorce, because of this season. You need to cut your coat according to your size and your cloth, because you can't be like the Joneses, like everybody says. Whatever you have, usually there are meals that are not expensive. Most Black women can feed a family for $10.
Oh yes.
Yeah, I've done some videos. I've done some videos in the past on how to dishes that you can make for $10. And even if it's the rice, the dollar store carries rice. It's cheaper there than in the regular grocery store. So you know where to shop. I'm not saying you should drive 30 minutes to go save $2, because then your gas, you ended up spending more. But look for ways on how to save money during the Christmas. And I'm sure there's information out there online on how to save during Christmas or how to avoid stress.
Yes.
But to be honest with you, it's not worth it. It's really not. I live a stress-free life. It's not worth it, because that's not even a celebration of Christ by being stressed. And don't ask your husband for XYZ for Christmas because your friend or your neighbor is doing the same thing. Because that's where all the stress comes in. So let's go to Dr. Crossley here, what she has to say.
All those unrealistic expectations. You were talking earlier, Reverend Pam, about the children are disrespectful. They don't like the parent because they didn't get what they want. My children have never given me a Christmas list. I've never asked for one. They've never given me one. I bought what I thought they needed. I bought what I wanted them to have. And, my children were musical and musicians. So it was always music equipment, drumsticks, things like that. Because I had to, I saw their bend, what they were being gravitated towards. So that's what I made sure they had, even though it was Christmas. Like my youngest son, when he was like 6 or 7, maybe 8, he was running around. He took a styrofoam cup, cut a hole in it, and took some aluminum foil and taped it to the top of it and made it like a camera. And he would run around with this camera interviewing people. I said, okay, I see where we're going. That year, VTech came out with a mini cam. A cam recorder. So that's what I bought him for Christmas, because I saw what he was doing. So he ended up growing up. Now he's a journalist. He's a recognized, award-winning, Emmy-nominated drummer. And the things that I saw him doing as a child that I poured into, he's actually doing as an adult.
That's good. You enabled him and you supported him and you encouraged him.
Yes.
So, but there are children. There was a viral video on WhatsApp. I don't know if this happened it was not Christmas, but talk about unrealistic expectations from children. This 12-year-old vandalized his mother's home because the mother took his phone away. I'm talking about trashed it. It was horrible. It was horrible. And there are children that do things like that if they don't get what they wanted for Christmas.
See, I'd be in jail. I would just go sit and pat my feet as happy as because I would stump a mud hole.
I won't be in jail, but you'll be out of my house.
But he's 12. So
Yes,
you can't
he
really
can
do
go
anything
somewhere
with a
else.
12-year-old, but yeah, we
No, he
know.
can go somewhere else.
But see, but this is what happens when you don't train the child at the very beginning. Some of those things that these kids do, you think that parents think is cute. Oh, 2 years
It's
old.
not.
Oh, he's spitting in my face. He's too
Oh,
little to pop.
please.
No, he's not. He's not too little to pop in his mouth and let him know that's not nice. That's not what we do. So I always was training my children because I didn't want to be raising them at 18 and 20 and 22. So I went into this thing with a mindset. I'm going to do what is necessary because I know what I'm expecting. And I've gotten exactly what I expected from my three boys. I've gotten exactly what I expected from the very beginning. Never been to jail, but we're getting off topic because
But
we're
guess
talking
no, we're
about,
not. But guess what? You know, Proverbs 22:6 said, train up a child the way they should go, and when they grow up, they'll not depend. That's what you are getting. But
that's
let's
what,
hear what Dr. Crossley has to
yes.
say again about distressing for the holiday season.
Okay.
We
Okay.
should get to, oh, there you are. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, piggybacking off of what Her Excellency Prophetess Ambassador Lisa says about her children and her honing into what they liked and giving them what they needed. For me, I gave my child what I like. And even with my husband, I buy what I like. And I tell him that I'm saving him money
Mm-hmm.
because I think men, um, you know, really appreciate a wife who doesn't spend a lot of money. So, like, I do go shopping every day because every day is Christmas. And so my husband will be like, which store are you going to today? And I go, all of them.
All of them.
I know that's right, Dr. Crossland.
I know, because he's like, I leave in the morning and I come back at night. He's like thinking, who am I seeing? Some other person? I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't have time to see another person.
But let me add, you're not buying groceries every day. You're just out in stores.
I go to the grocery store every day as well, because if I need an item, because I don't buy a whole lot at one time.
Okay.
Yeah. And the store is just right there. So yeah, I don't like, sometimes I just may need, like, say, sweet and low or something. I know sweet and low is not good, but um I seem to run out of that.
Mm-hmm.
Back in the day we could just go to our neighbors,
Yes. Yeah.
but but nowadays I just go right up to the supermarket.
Oh, well,
Um,
my neighbor still comes to me every once in a while. Do you have an onion? Do you have a potato? You got a pepper?
I
I'm
have a
like,
question for you guys about that. Sorry, not to cut you off.
go
Are you
ahead,
guys
Lola.
from the South, or like do you have like more of a foreign type of background? Because I've noticed not too many people up here like in the North even know their neighbors. Nevertheless, to actually ask them, "Hey, can I borrow a cup of sugar?"
You are so right, Queen Lola. I was surprised she said that because
Yeah.
that has never happened to me since I've been in the US.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
It happens in Africa, but not here. I've never experienced
Yes.
it.
I'm
Yes.
sorry, Lola. Who were you asking a question? Me or Dr. Crossler?
Oh, for all of you, because Dr.
Oh,
Crossland was saying that, like she might need a cup of sweet and low, and so she can just go to her neighbor. And my mom, so we're Caribbean, and my
mm-hmm.
mom, she's pretty close to some of our neighbors, mainly because, like, if you go out of town, hey, can you watch my house so that, we don't have any intruders? Like, I live in a good neighborhood, but still, you never know.
Right.
And it's just the common courtesy of neighbors looking out for neighbors. But I personally feel like in my generation, or like the younger generations coming up, we don't know our neighbors.
Right.
And in fact, if you say hello to your neighbor, they're trying to dip and dodge. You're like, who's this crazy person talking to me? So to hear you guys saying, oh, I could just ask them for an onion or a cup of sugar, I'm like, okay, either it's a generational thing or it must be like an African, Latino, Caribbean thing. or, you know, like I notice people, or even down south, a lot of Southerners are big for that too, but
Right.
particularly in the North, not so much.
Well, for me, my neighborhood is being gentrified, so now we have a lot of white neighbors, and they're very friendly as well. They're always outside. They bring the fire pit outside. They stand around their fire pit and have conversations. But they're always, hey, would you like a beer? Would you like something? You know, we got some candy. You know, they're always offering. But my neighbor that borrows from me, she borrows from me more than I borrow from her. We've been on our block for 30 years.
Oh,
So
wow.
we know each other, and we don't have like a corner store. We have a corner store, but it's not like you can run there and get a green pepper if you run out or you forgot it yesterday. So she like, you got a green pepper? I'm making pepper steak. I'm like, I actually happen to have one. Actually, everything she has ever asked me for, I've always had one or two of. Not that I do a lot of shopping anymore because my boys now are not at home. So I'm not cooking these big meals and shopping in bulk, but I always keep peppers and onions. I keep fruit. Now I travel very far to go get my fruit because I have to have grapes with seeds. So I
That's
drive I
good.
drive almost 45 minutes away to go to the produce store where I can get grapes with seeds.
Oh, wow.
And get whole organic fruit and vegetables. So I ain't that quick to give it away, but because I know her, she can always have one pepper or one onion. What
Mhm.
about you, Dr. Crosland?
Well, so my neighbor, so we have a homeowners association,
Oh, okay.
and so new members get orientation, and so we are told to be neighborly. We don't have fences, so um if I need something, my neighbor will do whatever it takes to get it done.
Okay.
Um, so like if like the most recently I was packing um to leave for nationals to Mississippi, and I didn't plan ahead, and my suitcase was too small. So I text my next door neighbor because I could just go in her garage and get a suitcase, but I don't think she had one that I could readily get because I think she was using it or something.
Mm-hmm.
So the neighbor across the street bought hers, met me halfway, and I used hers. Oh yeah, because the airlines had got mine dirty, and all the other queens, they look at our luggage.
Oh, goodness.
And I was like, it's
What do
usually
you
all.
mean they look at your luggage?
Well, you know how they post their pictures about they're at the airport for the pageant.
Mm.
So I'm
And then,
sure you as a queen can't go there with luggage that's beat up. You can't say, "Oh, the airline beat my luggage up." No, that means you should have got some new one because you're a
Yeah.
queen, right?
yeah, that's right. Yeah, a matching set. Yeah.
Yes.
And so, but I'm smart because it's like my fourth pageant. And I'm like, I am not going to go and buy $500 luggage set. And the airlines is just going to tear it up. And plus, they charged me $200
Yes.
just to put my luggage on their airplane.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, well, do I buy new luggage or do I pay for this? And so my husband, he's like, learn how to pack so I don't need so many uh,
Right. So many people.
bags. And I'm just like, all these gowns and dresses, there is no way,
Yeah, I guess you're right. You can't be you can't be rolling your gowns up. I don't think they roll very well.
I know. So some of the ladies, they rented like big vans,
Oh,
and just drove there with all their just stuff because it costs less. But
that's
so
interesting.
so yeah, it getting to a pageant is very interesting. And so my neighbor, she wanted to talk and chat, and I didn't because I had been up all night packing. So when she bought me over the suitcase, she wanted the story behind it. And I just looked at her and shook my head like, I can't even talk, but thanks for the luggage. Because she had no idea how much I'm going to have to pay.
Mm-hmm.
And I got to the airport just in time to get on the flight. But the
Mm.
the agent at the counter, she was so mean to me, and
Oh,
she made me wait till the next flight.
Oh no.
what?
Yeah, she did. And I wasn't the only person she did that to. Because, like I said, she made me wait till the next flight. And so there was a white couple that came up, and she wouldn't help them either. So I know it wasn't a black or a white thing because she
Okay.
was
Mm-hmm.
black. She was just having a power moment, and those are just her rules. Even though,
Transferred aggression. Maybe was this during the holiday season? Maybe she was stressed out.
it was the week before Thanksgiving.
Or a holiday stress, probably.
Wait, and what airline was that, Dr. Crossline?
Delta.
They have like these different loopholes with airlines. If they basically like bump you to a next flight or something, they owe you money.
I was thinking about
I've
that.
seen that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like they'll try to push you through the rigmarole to get it, so you'll have to be steadfast about it. But if they try to bump you off of a flight, or they're like, oh yeah, you have to get the next one, okay, sure, I'll take the next flight, just as long as you reimburse me back in my money.
Yeah.
As well as like they're supposed to put you up into a hotel, especially if it's an overnight flight.
Yes.
Like they don't have the power trip privilege just to be like, oh, you're pretty and I don't like you, so I'm gonna make you miss your flight. Okay, ma'am. Go ahead, play around if you want to.
Well, thanks for letting me know that. And
Yeah.
I'll make sure that I get insurance too. And then that
Yes.
way they she won't do it.
Oh.
I'm gonna try and see if I can find the link. It's probably like an Instagram link, but it's a young man. He actually talks about those things in depth and how they'll try to finesse you. But if I find it, Dr. Cross, I'm gonna send it to you.
Thank you. Thank you so
Yes.
much. Thank you
Yeah.
so
So
But
much.
Dr.
let me
Crossley,
ask you both.
you could have filed a complaint with Delta.
I filed a complaint, and because there was other things after that, and all they gave me, I think, was a voucher for $100.
Oh, no, no. Did you write corporate?
Yes.
Oh,
So
okay.
what they do now is they just answer it, and then they won't respond. And so
Oh,
with the luggage, um the lady, that the other queen that I was sharing a room with, she had bought some expensive luggage, because they want to impress the other girls. And it's sort of like an intimidation. Like, I am so prepared that my luggage and everything is spot on. Well, the airline damaged her brand new expensive luggage.
mm-hmm. So, Dr. Crossland, do you have luggage covers?
Luggage covers?
Yes.
Where do you get those?
You can order them from Amazon. When we get offline, I will get that information. You can order luggage. They have the clear plastic kind, so you can see. Because you don't want to buy pretty orange luggage and then you want to wrap it and then you can't see it. So they have the clear plastic that go over your luggage. Your wheels are out, your handle is out, it straps under the bottom, and then they have the luggage covers that are different. You can get luggage covers with your picture on it. You can order those.
Oh my God, Ambassador Lisa, as I was coming back from this trip, I was like, I don't like this saran wrap going around my thing. I said, I wish someone could just come up with this. I didn't even know it already exists.
Really, luggage covers? Oh yeah.
I didn't know. I was just thinking about that, on my way back a week ago. I was like, all this wrapping and just it's.
Oh, well, now
Thank
you
you.
want to wrap. When we travel international, you want to wrap your luggage because that keeps people from opening it and going in it. So I don't. You know what? I used to pay $12 per suitcase. Now I just go to the dollar store and buy the a whole roll of packing tape for $1, and I
Mm-hmm.
wrap and I tape and tape and tape and tape and tape.
Well,
And
things have gotten better. Last year I went to Ghana, nobody messed with my luggage. This year I went to Nigeria, nobody opened my luggage. I'm just saying, but
well,
people
Kenya
may want to
Airways
do
opened
that.
my luggage. They opened my medicine bag, and I had
Okay.
it folded up inside my suitcase. They opened it up and took the watches that I had in there. I had gotten some watches as offerings and gifts.
Oh
They
no.
took my watches. They didn't take any of the medication, but they took all those other things that I had put in my medicine bag, and then they left my medicine bag open, laid out in the suitcase. So
You're telling me they really kept your watches?
yeah, and you can't report it to anybody because you don't know who did it. You know, once they take your luggage back there, anybody could do anything. But I tape all my luggage up. I just tape it. Actually, I was coming from South Africa going to Kenya, so I had no opportunity to wrap it or anything like that. But I wrap everything in packing tape. I use that whole roll and tape up my whole entire luggage. So that's one way. But yes, there are luggage covers, and there are beautiful luggage covers that you can buy. Like you can get them customized with your picture. Dr. Carlson, I can see you rolling through the airport with your queen picture on with your crown. Now, this is a question I wanted to ask both you and Queen Lola. Have you ever worn your crowns to the airport?
That's too much publicity. I'm not on that Kim Kardashian level yet.
Oh, okay.
Well,
Uh-uh.
when I went to Colombia, um, my boss wouldn't let me take my crown. In fact, when I went to Colombia, I couldn't take anything at all and they still searched my luggage
Hmm.
over and over and over. And I just took all black and I didn't take nothing. And they still, did that to my luggage.
Hmm.
And checking it over and over and over. But when I went to the United Nations, I take my crown. But yes, I take my crown everywhere I go.
Okay.
But I have a crown case and I keep
Right.
it with me.
Okay. Hmm.
But
I
now if I was going to Africa, I don't know because they would
no,
probably take it.
no. I tell everybody take nothing valuable to Africa. Not your watches, not your good sneakers, because not only could you possibly be kidnapped or robbed, if they see you have things, then you're subject of bribery.
Especially being an
Ambassador Lisa,
American.
I think it depends on the country, though. That's a blanket statement. It's not every country in Africa.
Well, I
Yeah.
have no problem when I'm in South Africa, but when I go to Nigeria, not Nigeria. Nigeria, I have to bogart my way out of the airport. Like if you don't move out of my way, I'm going to run you over. I'm not bribing you. I'm not appreciating you. I'm not doing all those things that you don't you want to appreciate her? Yes, you're a beautiful woman, but that's not what this show is about. So we're not going to get into all that.
I
we're
will
supposed,
say
we're supposed to be
personally,
talking
when I
We
about
are
went to
almost at the
de-stressing.
top
Ghana,
of the hour. We're almost at the top of the hour.
Oh, okay. Lola, what were you saying?
I was going to say, when I went to Ghana, I absolutely loved it. That was the first place that I ever traveled to in Africa. And I will say it was a bit of a culture shock for me
Oh, okay.
because I was born and raised in New York. And I don't know if you guys ever been to New York, but we're very much antisocial.
I love New York.
Yes, we are very antisocial. We run over the tourists. We bump into them intentionally. Like New Yorkers can be very mean, you know? And so coming from New York with that type of like hardcore mentality,
Mm.
when I had the opportunity to travel to Ghana and I see all these people rushing and bombarding me like, "Oh, Queen, how can I help you? Please, sister, let me help you." And I was like, "Whoa, who are these people? Like, are they going to steal my luggage?" And it's like, no, Ghana is genuinely a very, very, very
You
hospitable
nailed it.
country.
They will not steal. Ghanaians don't even mess with your luggage. They don't take
Yeah.
anything from you.
They're more likely to help you than to try to
Yes,
steal from
yes,
you.
they are. They're
Yeah.
very community
Yeah.
oriented. Their
Yep.
homes don't have fences.
Mm.
Actually, in Uganda, if you don't have a well-worn path through your property, that indicates to people that you're not friendly. You have
Oh.
to have, your property is open where people can, if they can pass by to go to the market. There's a place
Mhm.
where my daughter lives where I stay, and I can either walk all the way around the block or I can walk down the street and just knock on the door and ask, can they let me through their yard to go to the market because it connects to the market.
Mm.
And they just come out and they just open up the gate and let you walk through their yard to go to the market and back. Same thing when I'm coming back. Or I have to walk this 20 minutes to all the way around the property. So they're very community oriented while we in the United States, we're very individualistic.
Yes,
And
very.
New Yorkers are just frustrated because all these visitors keep coming to your town.
Mhm.
That's why y'all bumper us and move us out the way and don't say excuse me.
Yep,
Well,
you are absolutely
New
right.
York is a melting pot. Everybody that came from somewhere. It's not,
Yes.
Mhm.
it's not the native Indians that are there. So everybody came from somewhere.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yep.
So
Well, we're at the top of the
so
hour.
we are at the top of the hour, and this has been a wonderful conversation. And even though we were supposed to talk about stress from the holidays, sometime when the girls' friends get together, one thing leads to another, to another, to another.
No,
And
this is a good way of distressing because you don't know
yes,
who came here stressed.
had a
So
very good conversation
yeah,
talking about holidays, which led to travel, because travel is another thing that frustrates people.
yeah.
I've not traveled through the holidays. I'm already on the plane the 1st of December, end of November. I've never been at the airport that Thanksgiving time. Once I was leaving for Africa and I took Qatar Air the day after Thanksgiving, and it was only 25, 30 people on the entire jet.
Oh, wow.
It was amazing, and we were treated royally.
Mm.
So, but I've never been at the airport where those people are standing in line for hours and flights are canceled. And no, I try not to do that. But like I said, we are at the top of the hour and we're going to play our anthem. Oh, and I thought I was ready. Uh, and I am ready now. So we encourage you, we're going to have a short show today. After our anthem, we'll be back with our announcements. Encourage you to go grab a drink of water at the moment, and we'll meet you in about 5 minutes.
Okie doke.
Oh, Africa. Oh no. Africans, Africans for Africa. 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 Africans have many bright ideas. If only you let us share. If you really want to know my history, please come, sit down, listen to my story. God gave us a wisdom. He guides our footsteps, makes us shine and transform. Hey, as one people with so many cultures, yet indeed we are one. Stand up, Africans, let's save Africa. Let us all unite behind Africa Online Media Corporation. Stand up, Africans, let's save Africa. It's time to come together, promote awareness, progress, and solution. Hey. Africans, Africans for Africa. Africans, Africans for Africa. Africans, Africans for Africa. All Africans can rally for a common cause, to believe without judgment in what our brother does, to identify and resolve our challenges, to allow each other's ideas without regard to standards. As one people with so many cultures, yes indeed we are one. Stand up, Africans, for Africa. Let us solve all the problems plaguing our continent. Stand up, Africans, let's save Africa. Let us empower Africans in and out of Africa. Stand up, Africans, for Africa. Africa Online Media Corporation, that's a good way to start. Stand up, Africans, let's save Africa. society. Oh. If we believe there will be education for everyone, if we believe prosperity for Africans, if we believe medical facilitation for Africans, if we believe stand up, Africa, yes, for Africa. Africa Online Media Corporation, that's a good way to start. Stand up, Africans, let's save Africa. Africa is the cradle of civilization, the motherland. Stand up, Africans, for Africa. We were enslaved not because we were weak, but because of our hospitality. Stand up, Africans, let's save Africa. Jump on the Africa Online Miracle Jet. Don't be left behind. Stand up, Africans, for Africa. Together we shall succeed. Together we will win. Stand up, Africans, let's save Africa. We are writing our own story, the truth, and we shall tell it to the world. Stand up, Africans, for Africa. No more lies. Africans own Africa.
No more lies. Africans own Africa. And when we get together, we are awesome. Reverend Pam, our topic for next week.
Okay. Yeah, next week we're going to be talking about New Year's resolution and how to forget the bad things that happened in 2024.
It's a good thing. How to forget 2024?
No, we're going to talk about New Year's resolution and how to forget the bad things that happened in 2024.
Oh, the bad things. Okay.
Yeah.
New Year's resolutions. Wonderful. So we have had a wonderful conversation, just the girls. And every once in a while, just the girls need to get together and have a conversation. Today, we were supposed to be talking about how to de-stress. And one of the ways to de-stress is to have that girlfriend sister time where you just get together and just talk about anything and whatever is laying on your heart. That's a very good way to de-stress, not just from the holidays, but from everything. Make sure that you have that 1, 2, maybe 3 friends that you can trust, that you can pour your heart out and share with. Reverend Pam, we're going to take a round of the table right about now.
Sure.
We're going to start with Lola. We'd like to thank you for joining us. We are here every Sunday, so come on back any other time and join us.
Thank you so much for having me, Prophetess Lisa, Reverend Pam, my fellow queen sister, or my queen mother.
Okay.
Dr. Crossland. Honestly, I had so much fun. And, sometimes I think that it's in the most unexpected times and places when we have the biggest life revelations. Because I had no idea that I was going to be on today, but the plethora of knowledge that I learned from learning how to de-stress, learning about traveling, learning about suitcase covers, and I love me a good suitcase. Let me tell you. So I am genuinely grateful that I had the opportunity to be on with you all. And I definitely look forward to the next time that you all will be broadcasting, and I'll be ready and prepared with my camera on.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you again for having me.
Your last words on the subject, Dr. Crossland?
Well, thanks so much. And so when my son was growing up at Christmas, Her Excellency Ambassador Prophetess Lisa, you would say how train up a child in the way they should go. And so I trained my son to know that who God is,
Yes.
and
Mm-hmm.
and who I am, because I know that children don't really understand the world or themselves. So I wanted him to know me, and I wanted him to know God, and I would teach him about like prophesying, like, and I would tell him that all of my friends that I have are like superstars.
Mm-hmm.
And that was because my mom's friends were all superstars. And so that the picture that I have in my background is a superstar. That's Doug Williams. And so, like, even when I would take my son, because my son used to skateboard, and a lot of moms, they don't like skateboards because, the children were hurting themselves. But I let my son skateboard, for example.
Mm-hmm.
So when he would hurt himself, I had already given him his insurance card, so I could meet him at the hospital, and they would already have all the information. They could just get started. So when I would go to the hospital, they would thank me. They're like, "Oh, you're like the best mom ever. Your son, is already prepped. Everything is ready, and all I needed to do was sign." Um, and then plus the skateboard celebrities would always thank me because they're like, "I'm the best mom ever to let my son skateboard."
Okay.
And so I'm like, yeah, um, so fast forward. So the guy in the picture, Doug Williams, is well known for playing football. So when we hung out 3 days at a charity event, I didn't know who he was. I mean, I know he's a superstar, but I didn't know at what magnitude. And so the caveat to that is older people, like the football players, when they saw my crown, they were happy because they're like, "Oh, wow, I'm a senior citizen. She's a senior citizen." And they still in their mind, they know they don't still have what they had when they were playing football, but all their friends make them believe that they still got it. They're like, "Man, I remember when you caught this ball." But then with us queens, as we, age, and I appreciate being called Queen Mother, as we age, the guys and the other girls and everybody, they're like, "Wow, that's Miss America? That's
Mm-hmm.
not how she looked when she was Miss America." But um nowadays, because of me still wearing my crown at my age, and now the guys are used to it, and so now they can't really tell the difference between Queen Lola and Queen Dr. Gloria Crosland, because I rock my crown, and I'm really happy about that, and I stepped out of my comfort zone, and I just thank God. It's yeah, you know, uh, Her Excellency Reverend Dr. Pam knows how passionate I am for rocking my crown, and so and so I just want to thank
Yeah, she
y'all.
was in Atlanta with her crown, all right. You earned it, so you should rock it.
Mm-hmm.
My crown is too heavy, so it's in Ghana. I have a
Right.
small one. I couldn't bring it with me because of excess luggage.
Oh,
So it's in
Yes.
Ghana.
Yes.
I think we should do a show. We're gonna have to, Reverend, we have to talk about. We're gonna bring on some of these seasoned queens
Yeah,
and their
yeah,
crowns,
yeah.
and
We
we're
need to
gonna
do
talk
that, and then
about how we can
bring some
continue.
young black girls. Bring
Huh?
some young girl. We also need to bring them with some young girls from young black girls from Africa and from the U.S.
Yes.
Yeah, we're gonna work on that. Thank you so much, Dr. Crosland. So
Thank
before I
you.
have my last word on the topic, I just want to ask Queen Lola, because we're calling you Queen, but we don't know what you are the Queen of and where. So could you just give us a little bit?
Yeah, so I am Miss Bowie of Miss Black Maryland, USA 2024.
Miss Bowie, you
Congratulations.
said Bowie?
Yes, as in Bowie,
Bowie.
Maryland.
That that
Isn't that where Professor Neil Sung live?
yes, that's where our main anchor lives.
What?
Yes.
Crazy. It's such a small world.
So you said
You need
you
to be
miss
on
senior?
next Sunday. Yeah, you need to meet him.
Okay.
Did you say you were Miss Senior? I didn't get that.
No, no, she's not senior. She's a young girl.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. She just Miss Bowie,
Of Miss Black Maryland, USA
Miss Black.
2024.
Wonderful, wonderful. I'm going to be excited to put this show together so we can just have some of these beautiful queens come and just talk about their achievement, how they got there, and how our young daughters coming up can become
Thank you.
so we're going to work on that, Reverend Pam. So our subject today was how to de-stress from the holidays, and we came up with a lot of ways. One, plan ahead. Already know what you want to do next year when the year ends so you can buy that stuff for 75% off and you're not paying full price. Plan ahead. Buy a couple gifts every month and know where you hide them so that when it's time to wrap them, you will not be saying, oh, wow, I don't know where I hid those gifts. And make sure you have your sister time. Have some conversation while you're cooking, while you're prepping. It'll make time go so quick. And you won't even know that you were prepping and cooking for hours because you're laughing and talking and joking with your friends, whether they're there in person, whether you're on tablet, whether you're across continent or across the country. We can de-stress from the holidays and enjoy them as well. Everybody else does not have to enjoy it, and you don't. Again, this is Africa Online TV. I am your
I
co-host.
need to give my last words.
I'm going to let you have your last word in a
Oh,
second.
I thought you were about to close the show. I'm sorry.
No. I'm doing what I usually do. This is Africa Online TV, and I am your co-host, Ambassador Prophetess Lisa Parks. We are here every Sunday from 4 to 5:30 Eastern Standard Time. Now, if you're joining us or you're watching us on YouTube or Facebook and you're out of the country and you don't know what time, use the time zone converter. Timezoneconverter.com and find out what time that we're on in your country and come on and join the conversation. We're here to talk about a plethora of ideals and topics that benefit the African on the continent and those of us in the diaspora. Reverend Pam.
Thank you, Her Excellency Prophetess Lisa Park, an amazing co-anchor, an amazing woman of God, an amazing servant leader. We missed you in Lagos, but I know you'll be in New York. Sister Lola, we are coming to New York Labor Day weekend. Our sister organization, Africa's Brain Bank. We just had our fifth annual summit in Lagos. It was magnificent. It was epic. It was life transforming. Our events are so unique. You don't want to miss it. Dr. Crossley will be there.
I think we need to have these queens. I think we need to have these queens there too.
Yeah, so Queen Lola, clear your calendar, Labor Day weekend, you'll be in New York. And once we sign the contract with the hotel, you will get a save the date. You know, well, actually, we'll send the save the date because it's not save the venue. We're going to send it out soon, but you'll get an official invitation once we sign the contract with the venue. So one of the things I just thought about is when you're doing all that prep, if you don't have company, put your favorite music. Even when you have company, put your favorite music. I like to listen to music when I'm cooking or cleaning. I love to listen to music. So, and music, it's a stress reliever.
It calms the savage beast.
Yep, it is a stress reliever. So you don't have to take medication. Just listen to good music, detox your mind, make up your mind that doesn't matter what you see on television or who is doing what for Christmas, that you're going to celebrate the anniversary of the birth of Christ and be happy. Stress is not worth it. Don't let the enemy rent 1 second in your mind.
That's right.
You know, because you give him 1 second, he will take the entire holiday season. So yeah, on behalf of African Online Media Corporation, I want to thank all of you. And those are we're gonna upload this on Facebook. We didn't stream it live because we're waiting for our guest speaker. I hope he's okay. I'm gonna call him. He's never not shown up.
He never missed a show.
Yes, and our main anchor, had some last minute guests. So, but we'll hope to see you next Sunday, Miss Lola.
Yes, definitely.
The last Sunday, March will make us 9 years on the air. So.
Oh wow! Congratulations! Wait, you have to have a party. Oh, yes. You know what? No, I'm serious. I teach dining etiquette. I would love to host like a class for you all. And
please do.
Yeah.
Please do. We'll come.
Okay.
All right.
We'll plan it.
So speak with Ambassador Lisa.
We can actually build a show around that and do that for the new year.
Yeah. So get her number from Dr. Crossley. You have Dr. Crossley's number, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, yeah. I mean Ambassador Lisa. So get in touch with Queen Lola and you guys produce that show. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
All
Thank
right.
you,
Thank you
ladies.
so
It was a
much.
pleasure. Thank you for
All
having
right.
Wonderful.
me.
Thank
Thank
you
you,
so
Dr.
much for
Bye-bye.
joining
Crossland.
us.
Thank
Bye.
you. Thank